Right now, he owes, I'm going to say in a short way, at least 80,000, if not 180,000.
Jim Jones and his podcast co-hosts publicly criticized 50 Cent's documentary work. What followed was not a diss track or a heated Instagram live session. Instead, it turned into a calculated business maneuver involving landlords, leaked security footage, and a pressure campaign that ultimately left Jones locked out of his own studio. This is how 50 Cent's affiliates responded after Jones took aim at G-Unit.
Is it acceptable for someone to create a documentary about you without your approval? How would you feel if it happened to you?
The situation escalated quickly. Jim Jones described the idea of releasing an unauthorized documentary as petty and unnecessary, while Mino compared it to distributing private material without consent. The tone was critical, direct, and unmistakably disapproving.
It's like
definitely not acceptable. It's facetious and petty.
Right. It's like somebody putting out your tape.
The criticism did not stop there. The hosts questioned the ethics behind releasing unflattering footage about someone without their approval. They emphasized the potential reputational damage and suggested that such projects could permanently shape public perception in harmful ways.
Without your permission.
And you're not an actual porno star.
And they do it.
The lighting wasn't good enough.
The timing made the target of their discussion difficult to ignore. Around that period, 50 Cent had released Sean Combs' The Reckoning, a Netflix documentary series exploring allegations surrounding Sean Diddy Combs. The podcast framed the project as exploitative and referred to it as a mockumentary. They questioned the intent behind the series and implied that it was designed to damage rather than inform.
Trying to make you just look bad.
What?
Oh, they caught me on a bad day? I wasn't even on my This they caught a weak one.
The frustration in the room was evident. The group continued emphasizing that documentaries should not function as weapons. In their view, media projects should celebrate accomplishments, not amplify controversy or alleged wrongdoing.
You see that the lighting is dark?
Damn.
You see that the lighting is dark?
Got me looking small
You still
out
put
here.
this on the internet?
Word up.
They reinforced the belief that this type of exposure could permanently tarnish a public figure's reputation. The concern centered less on storytelling and more on motive, suggesting that financial gain might outweigh fairness or balance.
But I would feel.
I ain't gonna front. I think if they saluting you.
First of all, they want somebody doing a documentary about you.
Jim Jones ultimately summarized the group's position with a defining statement. A documentary, he argued, should uplift its subject, not tear them down. That line would later become central to the entire dispute.
You wanted to be a dope documentary.
Yeah, it gotta be dope.
Showing who you are, what you've done,
Put out no bullshit
everything you've
on.
accomplished. Like, a documentary is a big thing. Like, you don't want nobody doing a documentary about some like trying to just make your whole character look weak. Like, that's petty behavior.
Whether Jones was speaking broadly or directing his comments toward 50 Cent remains debated. Mino later clarified on Instagram that the discussion was not intended as a direct attack. However, by that point, the message had already circulated widely, and the interpretation was no longer in their control.
Trying to build it, but he won't sign the lease. He's like, I don't like these terms. I want like 6 months of build out. And ridiculous bullshit.
50 Cent did not treat the comments as hypothetical. He responded forcefully, labeling the podcast crew as squatters and alleging they owed as much as $250,000 in unpaid rent for their studio space. He reposted clips from the episode, added mocking captions, and publicly questioned their financial stability.
We also have a partnership agreement where half of what he's building now, his media, belongs to us. But he won't tell us how much he's making and doing all these things. So half of the content he's creating, if you want to buy that too, I'll sell you half the company.
The dispute escalated beyond social media posts. 50 Cent shared an audio recording of a phone call with the building's landlord, identified as Sam. In the recording, the landlord detailed ongoing lease issues and claimed that Jones had been operating without finalizing a formal agreement.
To me, it's worth very little to nothing. But if it works out for you, I just throw that in as a sweetener. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is he signed a lease with me.
According to the landlord, the arrangement involved more than rent. He alleged there was a partnership agreement granting him a percentage of the podcast's media output. He claimed Jones had failed to disclose earnings and resisted solidifying the terms, leading to a breakdown in their business relationship.
Right now, he owes, I'm going to say in a short way, at least $80,000, if not $180,000.
The landlord stated that unpaid balances ranged from $80,000 to $180,000, with some reports later suggesting figures as high as $250,000. Regardless of the exact number, the narrative created serious doubts about the podcast's financial footing.
He cut the lights off. You're not supposed to. You heard Jim? He cut the lights off.
Soon after, 50 Cent posted security footage dated February 19, 2026. The video showed Jim Jones outside the studio, struggling to access the space after the electricity had reportedly been shut off and the locks changed. The footage captured Jones forcing entry into the building.
Oh nah, this is getting disrespectful and hilarious at the same time.
50 Cent captioned the footage with pointed commentary, referencing the podcast's title and implying that the situation could have been avoided. He also posted an eviction notice listing Joseph Jones and IFC Management LLC, citing a 15-day default notice followed by a 5-day termination period that had expired before the footage was recorded.
I just want to know, how did 50 Cent get access to the camera? Because it's giving Big Brother.
The footage quickly circulated online. Commentary platforms, including All Urban Central, analyzed the situation in detail. Observers questioned how 50 obtained access to the surveillance system and debated whether this was strategic business leverage or calculated humiliation. What was clear is that the conflict had shifted from verbal criticism to documented financial and legal pressure.
Jim pulled up wearing what looks like the same outfit from the viral clip that started showing off martial art moves with Bruce Leroy in the back. Talk about showing up.
Jim Jones did not respond with a diss record or a press conference. Instead, he posted a video to Instagram showing himself practicing martial arts, chopping wood with a Bruce Lee poster behind him. The caption read, "Kung Fu Jim, no locked doors." It was a symbolic response, calm, controlled, and intentionally dismissive.
Honestly, that's probably the smartest way to respond when 50 Cent is trolling you. Because once 50 gets a reaction, he wins.
Commentary outlets immediately analyzed the strategy. All Urban Central suggested Jones was refusing to give 50 Cent the emotional reaction he thrives on. In conflicts involving 50, visible frustration often fuels the next wave. By appearing unbothered, Jones attempted to interrupt that cycle.
But if you troll back without looking emotional, yeah, now the internet starts debating who really won the round.
But this moment carried deeper weight because it sits on nearly 2 decades of unresolved tension. The rivalry between 50 Cent and Jim Jones traces back to the mid-2000s when G-Unit and Dipset were dominant forces in New York hip-hop.
Jimmy was not a rapper then.
Right.
He was your man, like on the side, like in the side, just he was not a rapper at all.
In 2007, 50 publicly criticized Coke Records, Jim Jones's label at the time. During a Hot 97 interview, Cameron called in to defend the label, igniting direct tension. Around the same period, internal fractures within Dipset created an opening that 50 strategically exploited.
So when Ballin' took place, and I'm looking and I'm going, oh, he having a moment. That's the Lloyd Banks. It's Lloyd Banks thing. He wanted that.
That September, Jim Jones and Joel Santana performed We Fly High at a G-Unit event. For some, it was business. For others, it was betrayal. 50 later explained that he understood Jones was entering his first major solo commercial moment and recognized the ambition behind it.
He was watching them be that, like Mace be that and Cam be that, and looked at, and it was finally, he had one. I just looked, and I knew, I just took the shot, Murder, to see, because I wasn't sure he was going to go for it. Mm-hmm. But I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam.
50 openly admitted that he studied the psychology of rivalry. He compared Jones's hunger for recognition to the competitive drive within his own camp. By offering validation at the right time, he drove a wedge between Jones and Cameron, creating long-term consequences that reshaped alliances.
You gotta watch to see how he responds. And then when you see, he like, oh, you really like that. Give me this, give me Jim.
That tactic, strategic praise mixed with public disrespect, became a signature move. It was less about music and more about positioning. The seeds planted in 2007 never fully disappeared, and every modern exchange between the two artists carries that historical context.
Since I'm starting the year off at the top of your Explorer, are you not entertained? Everybody want to put my business in the street. I'm gonna talk to you about my business. Right now, I am in the second phase of construction.
The recent studio dispute fits into a broader pattern. From past clashes with Ja Rule to exchanges with Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Rick Ross, 50 Cent has consistently turned personal conflict into strategic promotion.
In my mind, I was thinking of building like a little mart, but we'll see how that goes. Hold up, bro. Show you what we'll be doing. I'm building a multi-purpose content creation facility for media, fashion, music, and broadcasting.
Rather than relying solely on diss tracks, 50 has evolved his approach. In this instance, he leveraged business documents, property disputes, and surveillance footage. The conflict moved beyond lyrical sparring into legal paperwork and real estate maneuvering.
All these those opportunities, they still be here working in the midst of us working. So we're still in the midst of construction.
Financial disparity also shapes the narrative. 50 Cent's career includes multi-platinum albums, major television production credits like the Power franchise, and high-profile business ventures. Jim Jones experienced significant mid-2000s success but operates on a different commercial scale. That imbalance influences public perception in moments like this.
What I'm trying to say is, I've been happy to be able to invest in myself and something that I know is going to help a lot of other people. I'm not building this facility for myself.
Still, Jones reframed the situation as momentum rather than defeat. He later posted footage walking through unfinished sections of the building, describing it as a developing content hub with studios, retail spaces, and community resources under construction.
Yes, it is a business move, that's why I invested in myself, but I'm building a facility for all creators.
He acknowledged the cold conditions inside the property, something critics had mocked, but presented it as part of an ongoing build-out process. His messaging centered on growth, opportunity, and long-term vision rather than short-term embarrassment.
I appreciate the promo. I love free promo, you know, I ain't gonna miss a beat.
Whether that response is
As of late February 2026, no confirmed legal battle has escalated beyond public threats and online exchanges. Reports suggest financial arrangements may have been made, but the digital back and forth continues. The larger question remains unresolved. Did 50 Cent expose real instability, or did Jim Jones transform controversy into visibility? In a rivalry nearly 20 years deep, perception is everything, and this round may depend entirely on who controls the narrative.